Here's a plan by somebody called Awesome Student, and they're going to build a locker shelf. Now this plan has quite a bit more in terms of details. They thought in much more detail here about what they're going to need. They related it to the things that are in that space that they're going to put it in. It looks like they've actually measured, because I can see multiple different measurements here. We've got a depth, a width, and a height. Hopefully that relates to the locker that they're going to put this in, although we don't have a clear indication that they've actually measured the locker first before they started planning this. I do see over here that they did plan or think about two different ideas. They didn't go with their very first idea. They actually thought about, how can I arrange this differently? And they liked their second idea better. That is a great design step in the process. And seeing that somebody has ideated, gone through ideas, more than one idea is a definite step up in terms of what you're doing with your design. Documenting that is an even bigger step. If you document that you've gone through multiple ideas, that's really valuable because you can also go back and look at what was good in your earlier ideas. We've got a list of parts here that relates directly to all of these measurements in the picture. So they've gone through and broken it apart in their mind, and they've got two measurements for each part. So these are actually pieces of wood that they're thinking about. They have width and depth, or width and height, or height and depth. Two measurements for each part. And then they thought about which sort of tools they're going to need, maybe some supplies like glue and paint. They've even, I can see here, because they're mentioning a router table, they've thought about how the different parts are going to join together. The only reason for the router table in this project would be to build these joints where the wood comes together. So this person's been exposed to joints before, and they're thinking carefully about how are these pieces of wood going to come together, because they've got the router table listed here. Now, there's nothing in the drawing, there's no indication as to what they're going to do except for that one tool, so we can make an assumption there. I'd call this a high approaching. A lot of bits are here for the plan, but it's not really thorough yet. So let's clear that one and take a look at one more.